Explanation of symbols on worksheets are as follows. Use coloring crayons to color the picture. Use your finger to follow the track or line or show the correct picture. Use a coloring crayon to draw a line or write a number or sound. Look at the picture and say the number or sound out loud. Use a scissors to cut on the dotted line. Look at the picture. Use these symbols for the lesson of the day, which will be allocated at the top right side of each page. For example, Lesson 1, Prepositions and Directions.
Good day, welcome to my Zone Online School. My name is Ms. Priska Ogas and I'm joined here by my friend. We are still busy with the topic of transport, but before we go on with our lesson of today, I want us to always remember to sanitize our hands and social distance. Make sure there is social distance whenever you are around people. Now let us sanitize our hands. The lesson of today is focusing on tenses, shapes, data handling, odd and even numbers. Today we are going to focus on the tenses. Present, past, and the future. Present tells us what we are doing now, and the past tells us what we have done already, and the future tense tells us what we are still going to do. Now, we will start with the present tense. Presently, we are sitting. It's always best to start with the present tense. Flying. And singing. If you turn to page 21, you will see what I'm talking about. You will see on page 21 that we have the present, the past, and the future tenses. Now coming back to our chalkboard again, we have placed already sitting, flying, singing under present because it's what we are doing at the moment. Now we can talk about the past tense. In the past tense, we sat. Present, we sitting. In the past, we sat. Present, we are flying. In the past tense, we flew. In the present tense, we are singing. But in the past tense, we sung. Now we can go over to the future tense. In the present tense, we are sitting, but in the future, what will we do? We will sit. We will sit. In the present tense, we are flying, but in the future tense, we will fly. Will. Don't forget the word will, because it's something that you are still going to do. In the present tense, we are singing, but in the future tense, we will sing. And that is all about our tenses, the past, present, and the future tenses. Now we are going to talk and learn all about different shapes: circle, rectangle, triangle, square. And if you go to page 23, on page 23, you will see that it says, count and color each shape and then graph it to the graph. So you have to count them first and then you circle them. I will do the first one with you, the circle. You will see the circle is in the first column. You will see that there are numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there are blocks according to these numbers. And you have the circle here. We are going to count the circle. On the same page, you will see that there are different shapes and circles are also there. We are only going to do the circles for now. We're going to count the circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. So you go to your graph. This is your graph. You find the shape. It's a circle. You count the blocks now, because we have counted the circles here and there are 5 circles. Now we're going to count the blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll start 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because there are 5 circles. So what you're going to do, take your crayon, a color, any color that you want, and you are going to color in. I'm not doing it perfectly, but I know that you are going to do it much nicer and perfectly. What you have to do is, because we have counted 5 circles, you are going to color in up to number 5. Up to number 5. We can do this together. Take your crayons and color in up to number 5. I'm not coloring perfectly, but you are going to color in perfectly. Up to number 5, because there are 5 circles. I want you to do the rectangle, the triangle, and the square by yourself at home. Mommy and Daddy will assist you. Now turn to page 23. On page 24, if you turn to page 24, it's a similar thing. It's also a graph. But this time, I want you to do everything yourself. You have to count how many trucks there are and which color they are, how many helicopters there are, and how many cars there are. And what we did to the previous one, it's what you're also going to do. Now, if you go to the first one, I see a ship there. And this ship is also in all the ship and cars and trucks that there are. Now we're going to count how many there are. And it's color blue. So let's go and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many ships did you count? Yes, 4. So what you do, go and find the ship at the graph under, and you're going to count 4 blocks. Color in from 1 up to 4. Have you done that? Oh yes, I'm sure you've done that. Now for the helicopter and the truck and the car, I want you to do that yourself, because I know you can do it. Please turn to page 25. It's all about the odd and the even numbers. Page 25. Are you there? Okay. Now we come back to the chalkboard, and I will explain a bit more about the odd and even numbers and what we have to do on this page. On the board, you will see there's a worm with all the numbers from 1 up to number 9. And then you will see the odd number and color green, the even number and red. Now the instructions tells us that if you look at the instructions just between the worm, you will see at number 1 that it says color all the even numbers red. Now you take your red crayon, a red one, and you color all the even numbers you have to color in red. I will try and do the first 2 for you. Although my red is not so clear, but you know that all the even numbers is when you share equally amongst 2 people. But if you can't share, then it's an odd number. If you are 2 and you only have 1 sweet, then you cannot share between 2. So then that is an even number. But if you are 2 and you have 2 sweets, you can share them equally, then that is an even number. Now all the even numbers are 2, 4, 6, and 8. All those even numbers you must color in red. And all the odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. You color them all green. I have done the first one for you. You color it in nicely. My color red is not so good, but I'm sure you know your colors. You know the red and the green. I want you to do this by yourself at home. Let mommy assist you. Now we have come to the end of our lesson. I hope you have enjoyed yourself. But before we close off, I want us to remember that we always have to sanitize our hands. Can we do that? Sanitize our hands. And remember also to keep social distance. Always. Now, let's invite our friend Zoshi to come and say bye-bye.
Hi everyone, I'm back, and if you are scared of what you read on social media, talk to your parents and ask them the questions. They know everything. Until next time, bye!